Therefore, upon conviction, you would receive enhanced sentencing. This is now a felony punishable by up to 5 years.
I don't understand what you're
a
saying.
$5,000
I don't
fine
understand what you're
cost.
saying.
I think you understand.
I don't
exactly
understand what you're saying.
If the assault
I don't
was committed
understand what you're
as a
saying.
confinement, which it was
I don't
not.
understand.
Before we even get into the courtroom drama, what you're about to witness is a serious felony arraignment that quickly spirals into confusion, tension, and courtroom control issues. A defendant facing multiple charges, including unlawful imprisonment and repeated domestic violence allegations, appears before the court, but things don't go smoothly from the start. Miscommunication, repeated misunderstandings, and courtroom interruptions set the tone for a highly charged hearing. And as the judge lays out potential penalties reaching up to 15 years, you can already feel the pressure building. The real question is, how did it escalate to this point, and what happens when a defendant doesn't fully engage with the court process? Let's break it down.
Sir, what's your name? In the orange?
Robert Drobashevsky.
One. So, Drobashevsky, you're before the court on a felony complaint. That felony complaint alleges that on or about March 9th of 2026, at the location of 27 in Ypsilanti Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan, count 1 alleges that you did commit the offense of unlawful imprisonment regarding a Jennifer Larma. You understand the nature of that charge. I'm not asking you whether or not you did it.
Yes.
You understand what you're charged with.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's a felony punishable by up to 15 years incarceration and $20,000.
What we're seeing here is one of the most critical issues in any courtroom: clear understanding of charges. The defendant repeatedly states that he doesn't understand what's being said, even after multiple explanations. This creates a legal problem for the court because due process requires that the accused fully comprehend the charges against them. But at the same time, repeated interruptions can also slow proceedings and create tension with the judge. You can already sense frustration building as the court tries to maintain order while ensuring fairness. The big question is, this confusion genuine misunderstanding, or a refusal to engage with the process?
$1 fine plus court cost. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Count 2 is the offense of domestic violence.
This is where the case becomes extremely serious. Unlawful imprisonment is not a minor allegation. It implies someone was allegedly restrained against their will, and in many jurisdictions, it carries severe prison time. The judge makes it very clear, up to 15 years in prison plus financial penalties. What's important here is the court's emphasis, not on guilt or innocence, but on whether the defendant understands the legal gravity of the charges. This distinction matters because arraignment is about notification, not judgment. But the intensity of the penalty alone already signals this is not a low-level offense.
Or knowingly assaulting a pregnant individual, third or subsequent offense.
Did you say pregnant individual?
Said domestic violence and or knowingly assaulting a pregnant individual.
Your Honor, I have a clock here. I need to ask them to turn the volume up, please.
Hang on, sir.
Can you turn up the volume?
It's the third offense, domestic violence. Do you understand that, sir?
No, sir, Your Honor, because my ear and I didn't hear, and I wanted to clarify before I answer that. Did you say pregnant individual?
I listed the charge. I do not have knowledge that the individual is pregnant. I'm saying, let me redo that.
Thank you.
Domestic violence, third offense. Do you understand the charge, sir?
I didn't hear the things that you said before that, Your Honor, because my ears plugged up and they just turned the volume up. So I didn't hear the full description, Your Honor. I apologize.
What?
I'm not trying to be difficult, Your Honor.
What didn't you hear the full of?
I thought you mentioned something in there, domestic assault of someone pregnant.
The full charge is domestic violence and or knowingly assaulting a pregnant individual. That's the full charge. So it could be domestic violence, or it could be that you knowingly are assaulting somebody who is pregnant. It's a third offense. Understand the nature of that charge, sir. I'm not asking you whether or not you did it. I'm not asking anything along those lines. Do you understand what you were charged with?
No, I don't, Your Honor, because I'm not sure if you said...
All right, if you don't understand what you're charged...
This moment becomes highly sensitive and legally significant. The mention of pregnant individual immediately causes confusion and interruption in court, which is understandable given how serious and specific that allegation sounds. In domestic violence law, enhancements like pregnancy or repeat offenses dramatically increase penalties. But what stands out here is the communication breakdown, both between court and defendant, and within the courtroom itself. The judge has to repeatedly clarify, while the defendant insists he isn't hearing properly. This kind of confusion can impact how smoothly proceedings move forward and raises questions about competency, awareness, and courtroom communication protocols.
First with, we'll just do a formal reading. Here we go. You ready? I'll just go through all the counts here because it's going to be this way. The complaints are alleges that on or about March 9th, 2026, at the location of 271 in Ypsilanti Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan. Count 1 alleges the offense of unlawful imprisonment. That specifically is indicating that you did knowingly restrain. Why did they let him go? Call the jail.
At this stage, the judge is clearly trying to maintain procedural control, but the repeated claim of "I don't understand" creates a procedural bottleneck. Courts must ensure defendants understand their charges, but they also cannot proceed indefinitely without cooperation. This is where frustration begins to surface in the structure of the hearing. The judge ultimately decides to move forward with a formal reading of charges, signaling a shift from conversational explanation to strict procedural enforcement. This is a turning point, when the court stops trying to explain and starts documenting everything formally for the record.
Requesting a high financial component in this case that is due to the serious nature of the allegations, and that there are significant lethality concerns regarding both regarding the victim, and we also have concerns about returning to court. We are requesting a bond in the amount of $500,000. We are also requesting no contact with the listed victim and a GPS tether with an exclusion zone of 270.
Given the nature of the offenses as well as the defendant's conduct during arraignment, I will set the defendant's bond in an amount of a $500,000 cash or surety bond. I will order that if he posts that he would be placed on a GPS tether with the exclusion zone of the 2717 address. I would further indicate to this defendant that they are not to use or possess any alcohol, illegal drugs, including recreational marijuana. You're not to leave the state of Michigan without permission of the court. You are not to purchase, possess a firearm, ammunition, or other dangerous weapon. You are not to assault, terrorize, frighten, intimidate, stalk, or molest anyone. I will further indicate that you are to have no contact whatsoever with Jennifer Lerma. And what I mean by that, you can have contact with a civil standby. You're not to attempt to have any direct or indirect contact with that individual by or through in person or by or through others, through any electronic communication, including but not limited to phone, email, texting, internet, social media, or refer to those persons should you have access to the internet. You are not to refer to them online in any form whatsoever. You are also not to go to the stated address indicated of 2717 Brooklyn Drive in Ypsilanti Township, except with a civil standby, if that is your home address. You're not to violate any criminal law. You're to personally appear for all court proceedings and other places as directed by the court. I think I got everything. Thank you.
Thank you.
Court does call the case People versus Robert Jovashevsky.
On behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Assistant Public Defender Shanazi Carriac Rulli on behalf of Mr.
Shevsky. You don't.
This is a powerful courtroom moment because it shows the judge asserting immediate authority over case handling and detention logistics. When a judge orders coordination with jail staff mid-proceeding, it signals urgency and procedural control. It also reflects how quickly courtroom dynamics can shift from discussion to enforcement. The mention of immediate arraignment and custody handling reinforces that this is not a routine hearing, it is being actively managed in real time. For viewers, this is one of those moments that shows how structured yet fast-moving the justice system can be under pressure.
No,
I don't.
yeah, your client. How come I know and you don't?
Bad with names. Mhm.
Sir, keep clicking ahead.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
State your name.
Robershevsky Robert.
Your Honor, we'd be asking for an adjournment today. We would be submitting a competency evaluation.
You're going to be requesting a forensic.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Probable cause conference will be adjourned April 9th, 2026 next. On continue.
Can we request that to be done in person, ma'am?
Say that.
Can we request that the competency exam be done in person and not over the video?
I can talk with them and see.
Would you please, because I can't hear and it presents a big issue.
Okay.
And I don't want to be uncooperative.
Okay.
All right.
Did you want me just to order A, or did you,
I have the report.
or you have the, do you have the form?
I-
Because I can order it today if you
Perfect.
want.
Okay,
Okay.
yep, I'll
I won't have to print it out. The forensic evaluation will be ordered. I'll set a competency hearing for June 25th, 2026, 9 a.m. We can move that date up if we get a report for then.
Okay.
Okay, we'll continue.
Your Honor, I apologize for my behavior to you, sir.
Not a problem. Take care of yourself.
This is one of the most significant financial and legal turning points in the entire hearing. A $500,000 cash bond is extremely high and signals that the court sees both seriousness of allegations and potential risk factors. On top of that, the judge imposes strict conditions, GPS monitoring, exclusion zones, no contact orders, and multiple behavioral restrictions. These conditions are designed not just to punish, but to protect the alleged victim and ensure court compliance. The scope of restrictions shows how seriously the court is treating potential risk and repeat behavior concerns. To wrap this case up, what we've seen is a complex arraignment involving serious felony allegations, repeated communication breakdowns, and strict judicial intervention. The court ultimately imposed a high cash bond, GPS monitoring, no contact restrictions, and formal procedural safeguards to ensure compliance moving forward. Additionally, competency concerns and procedural evaluations were introduced, suggesting that the case is far from resolved. This is a clear example of how seriously courts treat allegations involving violence and repeat offenses. Every step taken here is designed to balance due process with public safety. If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.